Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. A new update has been released, but there wasn't too much in the way of new blocks or content. It was all about bug fixes and performance improvements. I wasn't planning on doing a video on this, but there was one juicy bit of detail that I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy about, and that is changes to the hitboxes of blocks. What this means, short and sweet, is that you can make a vanilla elevator with no gaps, and it will work flawlessly. So what do I mean by that? I've set up a few little demonstrations all the way around this place just to show off what this does, and we'll start with this one. So before the patch, if we were to make a vanilla elevator with no gap, so there's no gap between that red and a white block, it would get down to the very edge and then get stuck. There was nothing you could do about it, it was just how they collided with each other. So it'd be like that. And if you were to increase the power of the piston to try and force it through, it would simply blow everything up, and a lot of your hard work would probably go missing. But after the patch, we get a very smooth and tight-fitting elevator, so dropping this down and coming to stand on top of the edge, look how smooth this goes. So we go to where we were stopped before, and it just sort of clips through the edge of it, and down we go. It's a very nice thing and makes things a lot easier when building ships, when building bases. You now don't have to worry about things randomly exploding when you're trying to make a tight-fitting elevator. Now, unfortunately, this does not mean that it's airtight. If I was just to come all the way over to space, I've set up a nice little thing. Here we go. And if I drop myself inside, so we've got myself a elevator all set up nicely. If I was just to close this door up and reverse the piston, there we go, that's how the piston works. It's just going to drop all the way down there and allow people to get in and out. And then when I'm ready to, I can just close this up and it'll be nice and flush with the other blocks. But as you see from the bottom, that we are not airtight. The air vent up here will say that it's not pressurized enough to actually pump it full of air. And yeah, it's kind of a shame, but I fully understand why that doesn't work. But back to the fun stuff. Now, because of this change, you probably would have done at some point in your Space Engineers building, try to put a small rotor onto a large block and then use small blocks on that rotor in order to, say, use the small LCD screens so you can get multiple screens instead of using one large LCD screen. What would happen beforehand is when you were to, say, add in an extra block here, the entire thing would shift a little bit, making it impossible to fit another block on the back there, and it became quite a nuisance. But now, look at this. It's so well done. You can now have a very nice little LCD screen array and have no gaps in the floor. You can even go one further and just color everything up. So let's go like this. And there we go. It just looks like an odd placed block in the middle of there. And you can just go and put your LCD screens all the way across it. So there we go. We can now just pile them all up, whatever you want to do. It's just a nice little change. And finally, which I thought was quite a neat idea, which I'm not actually sure if you could do this beforehand or not, and that is having a nice tucked away landing gear. So I've got over here a landing gear which is on 2 hinges, and I've got myself a little hangar door that's going to cover everything up. So let's say I was landed on a planet like so, I drop down and we'll just lock ourselves in place. But when we're ready to take off, because of the changes to the blocks, we can now tuck the leg away completely into the ship, like so. And then the little hangar door can come all the way down and cover things all nicely. Unfortunately, you can't get it all the way down because of the size of the landing gear, which is pretty good. Another landing gear will just sit like that. You can sort of see how it's clipped through the blocks like so. We can just go and open it up once again by pressing that button. So I can open up my hangar door, and then that can come all the way through, and there's no risk of it going clang. You can see very clearly there how it's clipping through the side of the blocks. And it's just a nice little change that came out of this patch. But that is pretty much it for what I wanted to talk about, other than, of course, using this thing right here. Now this is what I call the temptation of clang. It is 3 pistons with their maximum speed going up against a bunch of blocks, which have been held on by some interior pillars that go all the way up to the top. And yes, it's going to be quite an interesting experience because it's all balanced on a single piston right here. It's been timer blocked up, so I just go up and down constantly, and just to show you how safe it is. So we're just going to come across to here and turn on the timer blocks. There we go. We're now going to activate it. And look at it go up and down. There is no risk there whatsoever. It's just going to go up and it is going to go down. It is still wobbling a little bit, but there is no reason to worry. It's just a nice, very good addition to the game, and I can't wait to see what you lot do with this change. Yes, that is it for this video. I hope you found this helpful, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.